Have you been wondering what's been going on in the background of everything here at the lair? Well, you're on the right video. Hello and welcome back to Miss Craftslott's lair. I am Barbie, and these last couple weeks have been absolutely crazy. So I have been running all over the place, doing a bunch of stuff, and I also took a look at my channel and realized how long it's been since I have done a Crafty Chat. So here we are. This video is not going to be in any particular order other than what's easiest for me to grab and talk about first. So that would be after going to that creative crawl. The video is in description and will be at the end of this video in the end title screen. Anyway, I went back to a skein away and I got myself some stitch markers. Super cute. Perfect for fall because, one of my favorite ones that are on here. Let me see. Let me see if I can get it to come on here. I have not taken them off of here yet, but check out that little cauldron. Like, oh my gosh, perfect for fall. So I got those and I am loving them. They're going to be turned loose here in just a little while because I have a knit project to put them on, I believe. So, I had all of those Joanne bags. So the first project that I have to show is the fact that we all know that those Joanne bags, as cute, lovely, sassy, or whatever they may have been, um, they weren't exactly the sturdiest of bags. Yes, they were marketed as being reusable bags, but I think I could only get like maybe 2 or 3 uses out of them before they started to kind of like break apart, especially the older ones. The newer ones seem to last a little bit longer. Hold on a second. Like this is a newer one and it has served its purpose for a couple of years now. So I give this one it like I said lasts just a little longer. But I have a lot of older of those bags and I use them quite a bit. And so I started working on a project and the bags started like flaking apart. So I'm like, you know what? It's time to start working on making some bags. So the first one that I made, well, I was making this style. So this one, um, tails did not get hid yet, but it started off with this style. So it's round. I will post the, um, it's a project bag pattern that I used. I will link in the description below which one I used for this particular bag. Um, However, I was looking at it and I'm like, this kind of looks like another stitch. So I made a couple of solid colored ones. And then I went in to get some of my stash. Now, I am on a yarn diet, which this is going to be kind of all over the place for this particular video. And also, don't mind the fact that I am talking with my hands during this video. But I had put myself on a yarn diet. So I have been on a yarn diet. And I am not, it's a yarn diet. I have not completely cut myself off of buying yarn. I bought some yarn on a different couple of yarn trips. So it's slowly coming in, but it's got to like meet my criteria. It's got to be a like I want to say that I had said that like 45% acrylic at the most. Otherwise, natural fibers. So I have been trying to work through my yarn stash slowly but surely. So I got into my yarn stash and I made this one. I think it is super cute. And all of this is my acrylic yarn because I'm trying to work through my acrylic yarn. And I know, acrylic yarn. We're getting there. We're getting there. I have it. It's just going to go to somebody else if I don't use it, so might as well use it, right? So then I decided that I was going to try it with this other stitch. So I made this one. And I'm like, I don't really care for the rounded bottom, so I made it with the more of a rectangle base. Liked it, made it tall enough to put, the reason why this one is so tall is I wanted to make it tall enough to fit one of those big pound skeins of yarn that I love so much into it. Well, it wasn't a little wide enough. So the next version of this bag is this one. And this one, like this one, already has a project in it. So I figured that, and I do have another one running around here because I made one that was just a bit shorter in width. So there's this one. Then there's another little medium one where I don't know where I put that. It's hiding somewhere. And then I made a little baby one because I figured this one would be good for my socks. Is not good for my socks. So that's actually where my other one is right now. It's over there with socks. Hold on. I have a mess going on. Here's the large one. Here is the medium-sized one. And here is the little baby one. Look at how tiny that is. I thought this was going to be a good size for socks. It is not. So this one I decided is going to be my sock bag. However, it did not have socks in it. It had yarn for another project, go figure, in it. I figured that it was also a good idea to take this particular pattern and make this one. Turn it over. I made that one. And I made this one. So I have quite a few project bags. I do need to make another one the large size. This would be perfect for like a scrappy project. And what got me started on bags is the fact that my purses get a lot of abuse. And I also like to carry a lot of stuff in my purses. So as much as my wine walk purse has suited me perfectly, I do need just a tad bit of a bigger bag. And so the wine walk purse is like that. So my idea of a slightly bigger purse was to take on this design. It's about like 4 times the size, at least, of what my wine walk purse is. But this is what got me kind of started on the whole bag thing. So this is again a pattern that I found on Pinterest. So I will have the link to the pattern that I used for this in the description below. I want to say, oh my goodness, it's furry. My bad. It's been in my living room. So yes, so I made this one. It has yet to go out with me because of the fact that I kind of want to line it, and I haven't spent that much time actually in the lair because it's summer and oh, I'm holding it the wrong way too. It's like that. It's summer and I am like so busy right now. The last week and a half of summer goes by so quick and I have so much to do. So I have yet to get this lined. Most of these are actually probably going to have to be lined. Most of these bags are going to have to be lined because I did also notice that My crochet hooks like to make the great escape, and my circular knitting needles will kind of poke me in my thigh if I don't. So I'm going to have to line my bags, especially if they're going to be project bags, where I'm going to be taking projects out and about. And so with that particular bag, the last bag, I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? I want to make, I have one more project too. I wanted to try to make a bag for projects that were similar to it. So I made this one. This is solid black. So you probably, the joys of this though is it actually comes up on my camera nicely. I have yet to like finish the strap. I think that this is actually going to be a really good size for other projects. Once again, needs to get lined. And I foolishly had it in my mind somehow that I was going to start doing live streams. And that kind of hit a roadblock at this point in time. Um, and I've decided to put that on back burner until it's winter time and I'm not like running around crazy again. So, but I was thinking about for the live stream working on some hats. So I found this pattern. Found this pattern. I checked the gauge. I think I just picked the wrong size hat to make because this is supposed to be for a man. And I crocheted it up and I took it down to my husband and I tossed it at him. I was like, try this on. And he's like, what? I go, because you have a big head and I don't have a big head. So I need you to try it on. And he tried it on and he looks at me and he's like, too big. So another pattern that I found on Pinterest will be in the link below. But check that out though. It's the, I want to say seed stitch beanie, but like I said, it will be linked below. Um, I had a lot of fun making this. I will honestly say though, that working the seed stitch in the round, or at least the stitch pattern in the round that they want you to start with, was a little bit tricky for me. I ended up having to rip it out a few times because I was like, wait a second, did I do that right? And I also have a hard time counting the rows with this particular stitch pattern. So it was a lot of like trying to remember what round I was on, especially if I had to put it down and walk away. So I ended up spending a couple hours where I'm just sitting in one spot to do this, and I finally got it done. It looks super cute. It's a little big. So, yeah. But what I want to do is start crocheting through some of my yarn stash because here at our library we have what we call the warming tree where less fortunate or those that have come across hard times or whatever can stop by and get warm stuff to wear, saying it's cold because our winters can get pretty nasty here. So, and I figured that would be a good way to use up some of my yarn stash as well as a project to do while I'm live streaming. So, if you are interested in me doing live streams, also comment below because I would like to know who would be interested in watching something like that. And I really don't have a lot of opportunities to live stream. It would be either a Monday night or a Friday night, most likely, that I would be live streaming. But if that's something that you are interested in, comment below and whether Monday nights or Friday nights would work best for you. So there's that. Here I thought I had gone around and rounded up all of my projects that I have. I did not. It's been a wild couple of weeks, but it's also been a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on for like, oh, hi. And this is the one whose fur gets on everything. I love you. Mwah. Anyway. Yes, I know I'm talking. Yes. Can I continue upon my endeavors here? Thank you. Because I had made those other purses, I had decided that I was in a purse mood. So I decided that I wanted to make something for Halloween. The joys of social media right now is that there is way too much inspiration like everywhere. So I had seen a jack-o'-lantern purse on Facebook. So I'm like, I could probably crochet something similar to that. It was a leather bag. But I'm like, I could probably crochet something similar to that. So, taking a little bit of this and a little bit of that, I came up with this. So, to make this bag, I just continued on crocheting single crochet stitches the entire bag. And then I went in and I embroidered on the face stuff. This is what I came up with that, and I think it looks really cute. I did end up actually finishing the strap for this one, so yay me. Tails are a completely different story. We'll talk about that. Yeah. Now on to the projects. I was incorrect. This one was the one that has the socks. These socks you have seen, if you have watched any of my other crafty chats, you have seen these socks. I can open the bag up, right? And let me see. It's not wanting to do it now. But this is one of the reasons why I realized that I need to line these bags. But if you have paid attention to anything as far as my crafty chats or Instagram or anything, you would have seen these socks around. I did make the mistake. This is like the third time I'm trying to knit through these. The first time that I knit these, they were too long. I did not measure correctly for some reason. So they were too long, or I got carried away, is probably most likely what it was. Is I got carried away knitting. And so they were too long. So I took them off. As a matter of fact, I still have wrapped yarn. I took them off the needle, undid them, started them again. They have seen quite a bit of the state driving around, but they're my Murphy project, I call it. If I, and I've talked about this before, but I know that I've got some new viewers. I realized that if I have a project with me in the car, I have less chances of having car issues, car problems, than if I don't have a project, I have a car issue and I'm stranded somewhere on the side of the road or in a parking lot for hours. If I have a project with me, I don't have car problems. I can't exactly describe why. I don't know why. It's just the way that it happens. So there is the Murphy's law that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So I call this my Murphy project. So if I am going somewhere, I grab a Murphy project, which is most likely my socks, and head out the door with my Murphy project, my purse, my water bottle, and and I have had good luck so far. I should knock on some wood. There we go. For the most part, it has worked for me where I don't have any car problems. So like I said, it's just me. We're good. So that's my Murphy project. Goes with me everywhere. The next one that I have to show is out of this bag. And this bag is big enough to hold my clipboard, which has my the pattern on here. This is the third time I'm working through this pattern and it's going to be too shiny. This is the third time that I'm going to be working through this pattern. This is the top down knit pullover by Karen. I got this pattern off of Yarnspirations. I will also link this in the description below. This is, like I said, this is the third time I'm working through this project, through this particular tee. And I actually have to get working on this so that I can possibly wear it this fall. It's probably going to be a little too bright now for fall, so it actually might get like finished and then set aside for spring. But I am loving how this is working up. This is my third, like I said, third time working this up. I have one in, hold on. I made this same tee for Easter using this yarn, which is why I had this yarn left over. Yes, I get it. I am working a tee in acrylic yarn, but like I said, I'm trying to work through my stash. I will bring in more natural fibers when I have room. Which brings me, which also I have to talk about in a minute. I'm just all over the place today. Bear with me. If you've made it this far, you're doing great. I'm almost done yapping. But I am making this one out of acrylic yarn. I know. This one I'm actually going to change up just a skosh. One of the things I've realized when I've made this before the other times is the fact that the first one, it was like clingy. I don't wear it that often. It's rather clingy and it seems almost like it's backwards, if that makes sense. I had to separate the front and back with the same amount of stitches, and that's what I did. I just am a larger topped girl, not the largest, but I do have a decent amount of extra on the front. So when I went to go and separate the stitches for those, I did them even. This particular one, I'm planning on just separating like enough to give me enough shape on the back, and then leaving all of the rest of those stitches to the front. I am by all means not an expert when it comes to garment making, but I'm thinking in my brain that that seems to be working, where it would give me enough room for back and sleeves and then have that extra give in the front. So that's what I'm trying. This is my kind of, I figured use acrylic yarn to experiment with this a little bit more, just to see what's going on and to see if maybe my thoughts are correct. So we shall see. I will give you guys an update as to how that goes when I get there. And I'm even looking at this. I don't even know if I stopped at the end of the row. This is gonna be fun when I get back to this one. But I am wanting to finish this one up by mid-September. I know that we're only a couple of days away from September, but this is gonna be one that I'm gonna be working more on because I would love to get this done and get another sweater on my needles for winter, because this is gonna be more of a summerish, springish sweater. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in there. And because we've had this beautiful fall weather come in, we have had temperatures that have been 70s to like 70s for a high and then like 40s for a low. So it's kind of feeling very spring. It's feeling very fall out there right now. So I was thinking of other things that I could do for fall kind of themes. And I had seen the popcorn. I'll post a picture here. I had seen the popcorn scarf that wraps into or rolls up into a popcorn carton, popcorn box, tub. That's the word I'm looking for. Popcorn tub, and then it's got like the popcorn on, kind of popcorn on top. And I'm like, that's kind of cute. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, what other ones are possible kind of like that? And I thought, a mug of hot cocoa. So this has tails. This is not obviously, this is a prototype, but I came up with this for a mug of hot cocoa scarf. So when it unfolds, yeah, I got the hot cocoa, but with the mallows. It's a prototype. There's still strings. There's still tails. There's like, this is the back of it right now. But this is what I came up with. So brown stitches, white marshmallows. Um, to be perfectly honest with you, I really wasn't exactly happy with this one. So I have yarn already um already set aside, planned to give this one another go. So that's my kind of crazy project. Okay. Another thing I did was I downloaded Focus Friend. He's cute. I have Livingston. I'm going to turn him on though for 10 minutes so that I can finish this because, yeah. Anywho, so getting back to my story here, I went down to my lair and I have been trying with this whole yarn thing. I have been trying to gather all of my yarn that I can, or to at least, if not have it in the same place, at least know what I have and where it is. But I have failed. So once again, I went into my lair and I started moving stuff around in my lair to make room for other things because we had a rummage sale. Not all of my craft supplies that I had in the rummage sale sold, so I had to make room for those to go into the lair because I don't want them stored with the other stuff for the house because my husband tends to lose stuff on me. So I was trying to make room for those totes in my lair, moving things around, and I found another project bag. And this one was one that I've had for a while. It's a more robust project bag. And so I had found that and decided, this kind of feels there's some weight to it. And I was thinking, what could be in this? And I opened it up, and y'all, it is more yarn. More so I don't think I'm gonna be I think that the yarn diet actually might continue on through um I thought this was supposed to like mute stuff. Anyway. Um the yarn diet might actually continue on through 2026. I'm hoping to be able to buy more yarn in December of 2026. But yes. So in moving stuff around, I also found an old project. So this is where I'm going to be calling in the help of those that may have done cross stitch before, because I am working on this cross stitch. And I haven't been working on this cross stitch. This cross stitch actually started out as a project that I was working on back, if it wasn't before the vid hit, it was definitely, I'm throwing stuff around. If I was not working on this before the vid hit, it was definitely in a work in progress. Oh, it's kind of dirty. Oh no. Okay, so if this wasn't a work in progress before the vid hit, this was the a project I was working on during, like, I had started it at the very beginning of the vid. It's a little dirty, but I'm working on this. It is a Mario one. I found this particular chart on Pinterest. So, and I don't even know a link, I don't think, for this one anymore. I have what I think is enough of the thread for it. My issue is now picking it up and it having sat for probably, honestly, 3 years. I remember I took this one with me to a car show that my husband had his Evo in. So that's been a hot minute because I think he sold that car 3 years ago now. So that's been a hot minute. So I'm picking it back up again. I'm pretty sure I know where to start back up. The only problem is that now I'm wondering, saying it sat in the hoop for so long, um, is it safe to iron this? I'm not sure. Um, so if anyone can give me any, like, tips or anything as far as, like, videos that I can go watch, that were helpful to you, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, is there a way to get that off without having to, like, paint it? I don't know. But I do wanna finish it because I've put a lot of time into it already, as you can tell. I've already gotten it that far, and I hope that I'm not messing it up or it's not messed up, the stitches under there. This is It's a learning process for me. So, yeah. And my phone was kind of going crazy. So, it's almost about time for me to head out. Thank you so much for watching this through. If you did, please like and comment below. I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time,